What might be the challenges encountered by learners of English as a second language? Hello, fellow language teachers. My name is Shalene D. Asanganayan, and this is what I will be presenting in this video presentation. Let's see if you have the same experience as mine. Hey everyone, so for today, we are going to discuss about issues or problems in second language acquisition learning observed in different classes in the Philippines. Right, so I tried a few English language teachers and did a research as well. What are certain issues or problems in second language acquisition learning observed in their classes? And here are some of the answers. So this is based on research and the interview that I have made. So let's take a look. We have, first one is linguistic discrimination. Okay, so we know for a fact that our students or learners have different reasons for this one. Okay, that learners are worried of making grammatical mistakes that would lead to discrimination. Another is they have that negative preliminary presumptions about proficient speakers' views towards them, that they might think, for example, that they are incompetent, not intelligent, and dull. Right. So bullying and discrimination are some of the first problems that we could see in the Philippine setting, really. So they are probably shy to express themselves because they are confident enough that their English grammar is correct. Okay, and because they are afraid to get humiliated, and they tend to be intimidated in public. Okay, so most of our well-educated Filipino can easily notice the problem, right? That instead of correcting them, then they would just make fun of that person who couldn't deliver good English. And this is too bad, right? Right. So another is difficulty in speaking fluently using the target language. Right. So difficulty in expressing oneself using the target language. Why? Because of unfamiliar certain English vocabulary. Another thing is that learners don't always hear people around them speaking proper English. Yes, I must agree that this is one of the most common problems encountered by students in the Philippines nowadays. Third one is lack of motivation. Yes. Okay, so because they have that negative mindset that learning English is difficult, right? So lack of motivation is really one of the most common problems encountered by our learners in learning English and in acquiring the language, the target language. Right, so now we have discussed about the problems. So probably there must be a solution for every problem, right? Okay, so let's talk about that one. These are actually the strategies or the pedagogy used by teachers. Okay, so for the first problem that we have talked about a while ago, which is the linguistic discrimination. I have researched about that strategy, which is called plurilingual pedagogy. Okay, the plurilingual pedagogy that is within a multilingual pedagogic approach that a language are kept distinct both at the societal level and at the individual level. Okay, so they tend to stress that separately. So advanced master of each language a person speaks, and that is according to Picardo in 2013 601. So as we could see here that plurilingualism promotes minimizing barriers between languages, all right? Because before it is no longer what we tend to be the maintaining multilingualism, but for plurilingualism, that is to minimize barriers between languages. So in this sense, meaning to say when teaching an L2 or the second language, the mother language or the first language of students are not excluded. We have to take note of that. And the acquisition of a new language is seen as a modification of one's global language competence. So that is in that sense for this pedagogy. So let's try to look. I have interviewed a teacher here, and she is teaching at Pines National High School, and she said that I give the students the liberty to use their first language in expressing their ideas, after which I allow them to do translation from their first language to the English language. That's what she said, that is in line with what we have tackled a while ago about plurilingualism. Okay, you allow students to speak in whatever language they are comfortable with, and then after which we try to encourage them to do translation, and we help them if we could to translate it in the English language. All right, another is in the difficulty in speaking fluently using the target language. Of course, main solution for that is to encourage conversation, of course. Yes, that every social interaction gives students a new opportunity to practice language. And some of your students might need a little guidance from you to engage in conversations. Okay, so for us to engage in conversation, so we have to incorporate what we call the question of the day to our discussions. As we start our lesson, then we have to incorporate these questions just to motivate our students, to encourage them to have that conversation that starts with them. Okay, so with my interview, the teacher said I provide varied opportunities for the students to exercise their communicative skills, most of the time through recitation. That's it. So since not all students are also very vocal in expressing themselves, we use improvised whiteboards where they can write their thoughts. Okay, so well said, ma'am. And number 3, we have lack of motivation. So a solution for that is to trigger their interests, of course. Okay, so we have to make English learning personal by connecting language to something personal in our students' lives, that they'll tap into something emotional that will help them with the engagement to our lessons. Okay, so we have, according to research here by Ross, he offers a couple of ways to trigger students' interest. And one way is to integrate current topics like music, movies, fads, right? Students' favorite, to create a relevant class culture. And another option is to investigate the theme of self-expression. And by using personalized tasks, for example, like idea journals and speaking circles, learners will be motivated by the fact that the class focuses on their personal lives. Okay, so I have also included student suggestions here, since I told them in my class, I asked them to write something about what could be their suggestions to improve the teaching and learning of English inside our classroom. And this section provides the findings of the respondents' suggestion for lecturers to improve their teaching approach in the classroom, and for the students as well to improve their language skills based on the respondents' experience and personal approaches. And we could see this in the table that they have mentioned about be more patient in guiding and teaching students. Okay, so teachers need to do that, right? Lecturers or teachers should be more creative in their lessons and not to rely only on textbooks. Are you doing that, teachers? Okay, and the last one, lecturers should introduce new vocabulary during their lessons. Okay, so in my class, I've been doing that to my junior high school students, where I get to introduce new words or highfalutin words and how they are going to make use of that in a sentence after we have discussed the meanings of those words. Okay, so that's it for this particular problems being encountered in the Philippine school setting. Thank you so much.